This is the program that addresses issues concerning you as a Nigerian.
To interact with them.
But what happens afterwards?
I don't know what is delaying the deployment.
That is your role that you have to play.
Investigate each case.
I'd like to hear from some more people.
Talk your own. We the people.
Before today, the situation was very pathetic. They are not ashamed to be carrying their cough drug around. You know, these cough drugs, they are very illicit. They do harm. It was just everywhere.
This one for the people where they are using for river, they are catching fish or something. When they are taking, they can't easily hear the cool of the water.
This is being mixed. It is being mixed with something that's called ermo.
Ermo
Mixture.
Okay. So why do you mix weed and ermo?
Yeah, because that's how I learned how to smoke it.
From who? Who did you learn from?
From so many people.
The reason why we decided to form this organization is the fact that over time, people have been abusing drugs and we see no any voluntary move from any group of people or individuals. We now adopt enlightenment methods.
Da muka samu sa'a matasa su suka ga wannan shaye-shaye ba kyau suka shiga wurin masu shaye-shayen suka yi mamu maganin wannan shaye-shaye.
Kwashin komai sa kai ne, haka to ni ban sa kaina ba shi yasa ra'ayi ne to kowa da ra'ayin shi ni har ra'ayina daban nasu daban.
We have a number of times where, NDLEA come to make arrests. Some people among the officials of the MDL, they inform the culprits who are selling drugs.
I sell this thing before. I deal with this thing, but with time, I came to realize that I have something to pursue in life, which maybe dealing with this can maybe delay me or make me, as in, not to be what I want to be.
Talk your own.
Talk your own.
Talk your own.
Experts say that the use of illicit drugs can be very harmful to the people that use them, but more so, they could trigger some forms of crime. Now, beyond the harm that drug abuse can inflict on an individual or pose a threat to a community, what is the story of a drug user and what can be done to address this problem? You're welcome to Talk Your Own, We the People, the program that addresses issues in Nigeria as a people. My name is Okechukwu Efodu, and today we're in the city of Kaduna. Precisely, we're in Angwan Seriki, right here to talk with a couple of people which comprise of drug users, rehabilitated users, non-users, as well as a youth NGO fighting drug abuse. Now, to get this talk flowing, I'll start by introducing the members of our panel, two gentlemen who belong to the Society for Drug Abuse Enlightenment and Control. I have Barrister Ahmed Musa, who is the chairman and the legal advisor. I have Mubarak Al-Hassan Faskari, who is the assistant secretary. And in our audience here, we have very vibrant gentlemen. And yes, we tried to get the women involved. Some declined, while others said they would join us. Let me hear from someone who is a rehabilitated user, somebody who used to use drugs before but doesn't do that anymore. Let me hear from you, Abakar Tolu.
I started drinking drug 1 year later, and I stopped drinking that drug. Okay. Because my mother always crying all the time. That is why I stopped drinking the drug.
What kind of drug were you taking?
I used to take Valium.
But how did you start in the first place?
Well, in the school, a friend introduced me to the breaking the drugs.
All right, thank you very much, Abubakar. Let me go over to our panelists. What's your experience like working with drug users?
You see, people oftentimes marginalize these people, but the experience I have in relating to them is they are the most easiest people to deal with. That's, opportunity given to them to interact with them, to shake hands with them, to mingle among, within them. When many people in the society disdain them, neglect them.
So Mubarak, what is your experience like relating with drug users?
Honestly, they are responding. Because prior to this organization, when you see them, by seeing them, they will tempted to attack you. But by the time they realize your vision, so we became friends. So now it comes to the extent that now we can call them, we can sit with them, we can discuss with them, we can share. We are always sharing ideas with them. So being part of us, that makes them to dedicate themselves to even stop it. Some have stopped, some reduce. So now instead of them attacking you, now they became the ones, they're helping us because they are kind of people that are talking to their own brothers so that they can stop it.
All right, Bryce Ahmed Musa, what do you think causes young people to engage in drugs?
You have peer group influence, you have parental neglect, then you have lack of job opportunity, especially peer group influence. My friend takes drugs, then out of curiosity I want to test it. Then you think that, it calms me, so let me continue. They go into practicing drug abuse, gradually to the extent of being addicted.
So we've heard from the barrister, more young people are engaging in drugs, so there's a high rise in drug abuse. Can somebody tell me why? Why is this?
Rashin aikin yi da bamu da shi matasa shine yake dan damun mu. Sai sa za ga ana shaye-shaye, ana sace-sace, ana waye.
Let me hear from somebody else. You can give the microphone to the gentleman on the left.
Iyaye wani lokaci suna ba da contribution, ba za su san inda yaron su yake kwana ba, ba su san inda yaron su yake tashi ba. To shine wannan babban matsala, kuma mutum ma yana sa ma zuciyan shi ya ga wani dan uwan shi yana wani abu, ya ga shi ma kaman wayewa ne.
A gani na gaskiya laifin daga iyaye ne da ba sa sanin yaransu da suke yawo, da kuma in sun ga dan wani na yi gaskiya majority ba sa addu'a Allah shirye su, sai dai su dinga tsine musu. Shi yasa Allah ke ba su yara su ma masu shaye-shaye suke yawa.
Okay, so how do the authorities relate with you people? How do they engage with you?
The experience the authority with NDLE and police. Police will arrest you as a dealer. The Indian hand that they arrest you as a dealer, they will now go and sell to another dealer instead of to hang it for their store. But NDLE, if they arrest you with ganja, they will drop it in their store. They are having their own store. Nobody go there. So they are not selling for another dealers. If they hold you, you must go for jail.
Okay, so Mubarak, assuming you're the government with financial powers, authoritative powers, government of we the people, what are the things you put in place to tackle this problem?
As a government, we have all the powers to establish a rehabilitation center. That rehabilitation center to be equipped with all necessary skill acquisitions programs that are needed from state and local government. In each local government, let's start to organize and have all those users from various wards. We know them, we can get them. So we'll get them, we isolate them to a specific environment. Let's take from their feeding, accommodation, their training, and in fact their welfare in general. So by that, definitely we are going to tackle it.
Bryce Ahmed, what do you think?
In addendum to what my colleague have said, You also need to be spreading pliers, handbills, and other opportunities that you take in order to enlighten people and to tell them the clear danger, to portray the danger to them that this is what drug leads to.
All right, let me go back to our audience. What can we do now to solve this rise in drug abuse? What do you think we can do?
Mutum ko da secondary ya gama a samu mai aikin yi da sauransu don rashin aikin yi shi yake kawo yawan shaye-shaye.
Iyaye kuma in ɗanka zai fita ina zai je, in ya dawo daga ina kake, sannan kuma su hukumar nan da suke kama mutane in sun kama mutum shaye-shaye bai yiwuwa.
All right, my very energetic audience, thank you very much for talking your own today. Now go there. See you next time, definitely. And to our panelists, Barrister Ahmed Musa and Mubarak Al-Hassan Faskari, thank you very much for talking your own today.
Thank you very much.
Talk your own.
Talk your own.
Talk your own.
We deliberately left the authorities out of this discussion for the very obvious reasons. But right now, we'll take the discussion to them. So come with me, let's go.
Talk your own.
Talk your own.
Talk your own.
This is still Talk Your Own, We the People, and we're right here at Sardauna Gallery, also known as Arewa House, a popular historic site where the then Sardauna of Sokoto and Premier of the Northern Region, Sir Ahmadu Bello, once lived. Right here, I'll be talking with Mr. Samuel Azigi, the State Commandant of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Kaduna. Sir, is drug abuse in Nigeria something to worry about?
The issue of drug abuse in the country is of great concern and is worrisome. You recall that as a result of curiosity, a lot of our youth, having not been able to get access to the controlled drugs, have attempted to experiment on certain substances, which has given them the same desired effect like the controlled drugs. I give you an instance. Many of them have resorted to taking maybe sniffing petrol. Some have decided to sniffing the pig toilets. Some have resorted to taking lizard dome. Some have decided to take experiment on pawpaw leaf. Some have decided to experiment on the rubber solution, the one we use to patch our vehicles. Some have decided to experiment on the office correction fluid, which we use in the offices. Some have decided to experiment on nail polish, this nail polish that the female use to beautify their fingers. These are the same substances that are not under control by the international community, but which these young people have experimented and have gotten the same desired effect. This is what is worrisome in Nigeria today.
So can you, as the state commander now, can you beat your hand on the chest and say, yes, NDLEA we have achieved with this mandate that we've been given?
Certainly, yes. Obviously, yes. The NDLEA has achieved and it has done a lot. I tell you just one instance. Since 2002 up to date, 2016, Nigeria has been continuously and annually certified by the United States to be doing very, very well.
From your operations, the arrests that you make, the investigations that you do, from what we see, it seems you people target the small dealers. Is it not good to go and start like the big barons, the kingpins?
I want you to go to the record of arrest. Go to the NDLEA command or go to the NDLEA headquarters or go to our website and access our data. That between January and date, I have seized over 15 tons of drugs. If I'm going for minors, why did I make those seizures? You should answer me.
Because the reason why I'm asking is,
yes,
if we target the big guns, somehow it will reduce the supply to the small dealers.
Of course, the obvious fact is that if you are chasing the minor dealers or the small dealers, then you are not working. You are not finding a solution to the drug problem. The problem is to nip it from the bud. You have to trace where this drug is coming from and the mode of concealment.
Why is it so easy for young people to access, tramadol or benylin? Because benylin seems to be everywhere. How come it's so easy to access it?
Yes, benylin.
It's a controlled drug, right?
It's a controlled drug. It's only, like I said, it's supposed to be dispensed in the pharmacy shop. But oftentimes, and very often, you find that they are being sold in the chemist shop by petty medicine dealers. And this is why you find out that it is very common and is being abused rampantly by the young people. Now, part of the reasons that has accounted for this rampant abuse is that the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria appears not to be living up to expectation, because most of these patent medicine dealers get their stock from the pharmacy shops. And so the essence is, like in Kaduna State, because of the pressure we have mounted on the chemist shops, a bottle of codeine now in Kaduna State goes to as high as 1,500, which ordinarily is supposed to be sold at 300, 400. But because of the pressure by the NDLA, because they can no longer sell it rampantly, we must insist that it should be sold and should be only dispensed in the pharmacy shop. The National Assembly should come out with a law that any controlled drug should not be sold outside the pharmacy shops. That is what the National Assembly is supposed to do.
Mr. Samuel, some people have criticized the authorities, for example, NDLA officials, by, for involvement, maybe giving out some information for a fee, or even the use of these drugs. Is it true?
Well, I can say that the NDLA has what we call the Code of Conduct. And this Code of Conduct regulates or guides our activities in our operations. And in the event that you are found to be found wanting, either romancing with a drug dealer, or compromising, or assisting a suspect to escape, or tampering with exhibit, or tampering with exhibit money, or failing to go and testify in a court, these are all issues that will be dealt with. And so I want to believe very, very strongly that the NDL officer stick to this Conduct of Conduct Bureau. I'm not saying that, yes, 100%. There may be some bad elements. It's not impossible.
Talk your own.
Talk your own.
Talk your own. Most drug users have their reasons for abusing drugs, right? But how valid are these? And what are the effects of drug abuse? Over to Afe in Abuja to explore these and many more.
I have here with me Dr. Jimla Sopoyemi Ogushake, a public health physician with experience working with drug abusers. Doctor, you're welcome.
Thank you.
What can drugs do to anyone who abuses it?
People that abuse drugs, they suffer a lot medically, as much as they suffer a lot psychologically, emotionally, and of course, in the society at large. There are short-term medical complications. There are also long-term medical complications. Part of the short-term medical complications are people losing consciousness, people being lethargic, people become fatigued, people have abdominal problems, muscle pain, bone pain. People have they're drowsy, people are restless, and other people are not able to concentrate and stuff like that. But for long-term medical causes, they attack almost all the organs in the body. So they might not even have blood pressure issues. So many of them end up having cardiac arrest and stuff like that. Some of them come down with stroke. Some of them come down with serious brain damage that affects almost all the function of the body, that can even affect their gait, the way they walk and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, is it possible for one to abuse drug without knowing?
Of course, yes. It is possible. Many people abuse drug in today's world. That is why a lot of people have developed what we call drug resistance. Because like people just walking anywhere, they just buy antibiotics, for instance, and many other drugs across the counter. Some drugs are supposed to be prescribed. We have problems with the so-called chemists and those guys that sells drugs by the roadside. They have access to many of these opiates, the addictive ones, like tramadol and all the rest of them. And because some of those drugs, they have this addictive effect, so people go and buy them on their own because it makes them feel in a particular way when they use it for that particular problem. And so even when the problem is not there anymore, they still want to go back to buy the same drug so that they can be able to enjoy the feeling that drug gave them even in the first place. So self-medication, so self-care is not wrong in all cases, except when it comes to when a drug is not prescribed. A drug that is supposed to be prescribed by a physician is not prescribed, then it has become an abuse.
Can you tell us the signs that a parent or a guardian can be looking out for, for a person who's abusing drugs? How would you know?
Parents are busy all over the place. They don't really even have time to know. But for parents that cares to know, you don't want to eat your food. I've had that kind of experience before. She actually brought the guy to the hospital that he's not been eating. At a closer look, we found out that the guy is already abusing drugs, tramadol, for instance. When you notice that your child is always sweating, behaving, always fatigued, having irrational behavior in the house, lethargic, confused, there is no, if you really know your child, there is no way the child will change that you will not be able to suspect that something is wrong with this child.
So why is it difficult for some people to stop abusing drugs? I mean, even when they try on their own.
It is difficult for people to stop abusing drugs because it's gone beyond them. That's what is called addiction. Addiction is the biggest problem for drug users. For people that are not yet addicted, they could still find their way around by personal discipline, by the help of friends, and say, oh, I don't want to smoke that thing anymore. So the person will just be like, oh, I don't like how I felt the last time. Okay, so I won't hang out with those guys anymore.
How can you get out of addiction?
The first thing the addicted needs to know is that I can be free. People that have been so messed up have been free from drug addiction, okay? That's even the beginning of it. You need to understand that you can stop. You also need to understand that you can be helped. And if you are even taking that boldness, like I know what I'm doing is a lot of problem for me, then I need to stop it. I think that is a very good stuff. Then the person should seek help. And seek help in the nearest rehabilitation center, and talk to family members so that I can be able to get help.
And this person can get all of this medical help you're talking about here in Nigeria?
Yeah, a person can get the help everywhere in this country.
In government hospitals?
Both in government and in private settings, yes.
If you already know that a person close to you is a drug user or an abuser, how can you help that person?
Simple. You are the best person to help that person, because that person might find it difficult to come out. The first thing you need to do for that person is to assure and reassure that person that, see, this thing you can stop. You can come out on behalf of your pal, of your friend that cannot come out, and help the person to be able to locate the nearest rehabilitation center.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jimla Sugushaki, for being a part of this program.
Thank you, Afi, for having me.
Talk your own.
Talk your own.
Talk your own.
Youths are the pillars of any economy, especially in a country like Nigeria, where they say the youths make up to 70% of our population. So you can imagine what happens when members of this vibrant group are the ones caught in the damaging effects of drug abuse. Now, what is your role and your contribution towards ensuring that drug abuse reduces in Nigeria? I'll leave you with that. This is Talk Your Own with the people. Should we do this again sometime? Should we not? Of course we should. My name is Okechukwu Fodu. See you sometime. Bye-bye.
Talk your own.
Talk your own.
Talk your own.
Thanks for watching. Continue to talk your own online. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Remember, for government to work, get involved. No sit down look. See you next week for another edition of
Talk Your Own, We the People.
Talk Your Own has been made with funding from the UK Department for International Development.